Hi, I'm Laura Ahnemann. I run a company called Make Yourself Home. I work with young, courageous expats who have moved a lot around recently and are feeling a bit unsettled, don't know what they really want, often stuck in their jobs, stuck in their life somewhere, a bit lonely because friends are somewhere else. So I help them make confident career choices. What inspired me was my own journey with it. So when I sort of left the nest of my parents, I was traveling a lot around for the next 3-4 years. I went work and travel, then I was doing a traineeship that basically took me from one place to another within like 2 to 10 week intervals. So I was living out of my suitcase. Really, that sense of home was very much lost, especially when then my parents decided to give up my home, like the house that I grew up with, and moved to a different city. And that really felt like someone's taking the floor underneath my feet away. I made the sort of naive but also courageous decision to say, at the end of my traineeship, I'm going to London. Why not? You know, I've seen so many places around the world, can't be so different. And then London was a real shocker. It was like 9 months of agony. It was so different, so many new cultures to discover and learn from. And yeah, it was quite overwhelming. I discovered what it means to then make new friends. I discovered what it means to sort of come to terms with myself, That really led me onto a path of changing my whole life around at an early stage in my life. I think I've always had a real stake in the ground for young leadership. So I work with people in their 20s and 30s, and I really, I'm not too far from them. I'm young but experienced. I'm a certified coach with a lot of hours of coaching under my belt. I'm sort of, I bring a lot of embodied tools actually to my coaching. So I work a lot with your body, work a lot with movement, and often that brings people just out of a head and finally into sensing what their heart says, what their gut feeling says, and more of what's there, all the things that help them make a decision as well. What I can give to people is a sense of calm, a sense of clarity, fun, the knowing of what's unique about me, who am I, what do I want. So the people that get in contact with me are normally at a stage in their life where they have completed their education to a certain degree, or maybe even into a further education, and then they've done stuff, but they're still not in a place where they feel like, oh yeah, this is mine, this is my calling, this is my path. And they come to me often in a quite confused, quite vulnerable place, because you've done great things and yet you can't really celebrate all these achievements that you had in your life, because it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel meaningful yet. Sometimes they feel a bit like they're in the wrong place as well. And I can just help them find that calling, find that place they want to be in, find that place in themselves that's really going to give them confidence and a good base of strength. They're full of life, that's what I really love about them. They have a lot of heart and are full of life, and sometimes just don't see that. So people come to me saying, I feel really detached from myself or detached from my body. People have come to me saying they feel really lost. They don't know what's next. What do I do with my life? I've done all of this and it still doesn't feel right. People come often in very in places where they stopped believing in themselves, or stopped really listening to what was here and what information was available to guide them with their decisions. They know if I continue like this, I'm gonna be maybe going down also a not so nice path. Maybe, you know, they feel really sad and are worried that maybe I'm depressed, or they feel really that they can't connect with the people around them because they're too afraid to tell them, or not sure how to voice what's going on with them. They don't feel understood. And yeah, here's a place where you will feel understood, you will feel held and safe, and you know, you can be human with all the ups and downs of that. We often don't ask ourselves the questions that a coach asks you. I mean, that's what I am really good at, asking you questions you've never thought of before. And you know, you will have just ahas from that can take you to great places. So the very, very first time, we would probably have, you know, you would have emailed me or gotten in touch with me in some way or met me somewhere. We do an initial session because in coaching it's just really important that we work together well. And often we open things up, we find new perspectives, we look at, you know, what's going on in your body, what's the feeling, the emotions there, and then towards the end, when there's a shift, an aha moment has happened, we find something to implement it back into life. Like, how can you make this meaningful or an action in your life? If there's even just the slightest idea of creating change in your life, and changing something that's, you know, you've brooded over for a long time, just go for it. I mean, you know, your initial session is no risk, no nothing. There's no risk to go and see a coach and try it and see what it's like. The things that can happen in 20 minutes can be life-changing. If you want more clarity, if you want more confidence, if you want to know what you're here for, then I can help. Coaching is really something to celebrate, you know. You're doing something for yourself. You're taking charge of your life, and you're making that change happen that you were longing to make happen. And you will go out there, do the action, the challenge maybe that we set together, and you're going to achieve great things in your life because you know, I've got it, and I know what I want, and you go for it. My website is makeyourselfhome.co.uk. You can probably put that in there. makeyourselfhome.co.uk. I am on Twitter. You find me